It's strange when you state that it's not our history, referring to African history in Britain, because the first native people in England were Africans. Africans were the first people to travel the world. I know that must be difficult to believe because the education system has taught us that it was people like Christopher Columbus who discovered, quote unquote, discovered America, stole America. And throughout the generations, he has been painted as a hero, when in fact he was a paedophile and a rapist. This is another example of how history and education has been manipulated. But when Africans travelled the world, they didn't feel the need to rape their way through and murder and enslave because they had spirituality. However, when Europeans came to Africa, they saw that Africans had built and created so many incredible things, and they had their own civilization. And the insecurity that Europeans felt, they had insecurity. And the jealousy and the intimidation had built up to the point where they thought, we're just going to enslave them because we fear their progress, which still goes on today in certain institutions, how they fear the progress of black people. And, you know, obviously when you say, oh, yes, this has nothing to do with race, it absolutely does. Because when the Africans were enslaved, it was racialized slavery. And another form of proof that Africans had travelled the world, first is the pyramids in China, and the first Chinese people were black Africans. And I said before about the fact that we don't learn the gold in the Queen's Palace comes from Africa. And then you asked me why should we learn that? Because we are never taught that the British Empire was literally built off of the profit and suffering of African slaves. So when you say it's not our history, it makes no sense because everyone's history is everyone's history, and Europeans came from Africans.